what would you do if you had 5 minutes and you had to keep a live captivated audience of 10,000 real estate agents virtual? What would you do?
I would do a moment of silence.
Oh, that's nice. For a specific cause, or you would just sit there completely silent?
Let's all just meditate and get prepared to get the knowledge,
I like that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1. Yes, I said 1 of the new and improved walkthrough. Eric and myself here have some big news about the direction of the show, and after many, many late night talks wearing LED red light masks, my co-host here and I, this black eye wielding content genius, Eric the Broke Agent Simon, we've decided we needed to change the show and evolve. So that is exactly what we are doing. We have the Knowledge Brokers podcast. We have Tom, we have Lisa, we have Byron. They're talking about interest rates, CPI reports, where to move to Topeka, Kansas. We don't need that, right? You already have that. You already have your go-to shows. And just like everyone else, great marketers evolve just like we are right now. We know when something's going stale, and it's time to make the premier show, the premier marketing show in real estate, where we have the best marketers on. The algorithm is always shifting. The tactics are always changing. Eric's got a black eye every other week. I have eczema on my face every day. The platforms are always evolving, and it is very hard and very overwhelming to stay in the loop. So we are going to be letting Byron and Tom and Lisa and all them talk about CPI and Jerome Powell, and we're going to be doing what we do best, which is marketing. Isn't that right, Eric?
That is right. Yes. Like great athletes, we evolve. Remember Bartolo Colon? This guy was throwing 95 miles per hour back in the late 90s, and now he had to work on a 12-6 breaking ball, his changeup, start mixing up the pitches a little bit.
Man,
LeBron, he can't drive as much anymore, so he's taking more perimeter shots, working on his three-point game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing. We're evolving. This is a brand new show, the premier marketing podcast, and we couldn't be joined by two better marketers, Dan, to kick off the week.
Amen. As Haley drops her entire mic setup here. Speaking of which, welcome to the show, Haley Ingram from Coffee and Contracts here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we're also joined by Marie Lee, Miss Tennessee. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks, Dan.
Hey, awesome. All right. Well, welcome to the new and improved show here. Today, we're going to be talking about algorithm news on Instagram, how to increase your views on Instagram with this update. The best thing that we've seen this week, what's in, what's out for real estate marketing or otherwise, our 60-second, we're all going to go around here with a 60-second Instagram tip from all of us and what we love in real estate and both out. And I'm very excited because we really want this to be like a go-to, Friday afternoon show. You're driving home from work. You want to find out about real estate marketing. And we want to have fun with it too. We want to have the engagement. We want to have people in the chat. We want to have ongoing jokes and bits. I mean, this guy Eric's actually wearing aviators, and he's expecting me to take him serious right now. Eric, take the glasses off, please.
No, I can't take the glasses off. It looks like I got pummeled in the face by a bludgeon, so I think we're good. But here's the good thing, Dan. The thing with the glasses is you can't tell where I'm looking either.
I know.
So it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera. I like the freedom that this provides. So this may be a new permanent look for me, actually. We'll see how it does in the clip. It's a good marketing gimmick. Here's a quick marketing tip. There's a reason why Ryan Pineda, that finance guru guy that always pops up on everybody's Instagram.
Yep.
There's a reason why he has blue hair. There's a reason why it's sometimes pink. It's red. It's shaved. It's sometimes cut out like a giant mushroom. It's because that is a built-in hook. These glasses are a built-in hook. So I recommend every real estate agent having some sort of problem going on with their face. And then that'll be a good hook for the video.
You nailed it right on the head. I purposely give myself eczema every single week, every single day, just for the bit, for the views. And honestly,
genius.
I'm going to pass it to you, Joe Goldberg. You kind of look like you need a cane here from the Three Blind Mice. But I'm going to pass it to you to start off topic number 1 of this new show, which is going to be how to increase our views on Instagram with this algorithm hack.
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to be 5 ways to increase your views on Instagram. So we actually got some good news this year from Instagram. So before, anytime you had an Instagram play, like I could sit there and watch the same Instagram over and over and over again. Guess how many plays that counted as? One. Isn't that ridiculous? There were all these lies and rumors and falsehoods out there that you should have these reels that loop, because that way someone's going to watch your reel multiple times. Guess what? It didn't matter until now, because now Instagram is counting multiple plays. So let me give you a little breakdown of the stats of these real metrics and insights. according to Instagram now. So an initial play is the number of times your reel starts to play for the first time in a reel and session is played for 1 millisecond. A replay is the number of times that it starts to play again after the initial play of your reel. This is defined as replays. Plays is the total number of times your reel starts to play or replay after an impression is already counted. This is defined as a play of 1 millisecond or more. Replays are counted after the initial play as the same play of the same session. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but we're going to get into some tactics real quick as to how to get more replays.
For a 2-year-old, can you dumb me that down? So basically, if you watch the reel 10 times, it only counted as 1 view, whereas now, if you watch it 1,000 times, it'll actually count as 1,000 views.
Exactly, which is great news because I think your reels views are going to go up. I don't know if this is actually going to push it more in the algorithm necessarily, but I think that's really going to help in terms of showing your metrics to sellers and buyers and saying like, hey, this thing got 50,000 views because people watched it multiple times. So here are 5 ways to increase your replays. Reels with long captions. Haley, Marie, you guys are great at this. You have long captions. Haley, if you have a green screen and you're talking on that green screen, giving great information about a ChatGPT prompt, there's a reason why you have a big caption, right? It's because not only are you giving out more information, kind of like a blog post, but that reel is replaying while the caption is going. So are you guys using longer caption in your videos purposely, Haley?
Yeah, that's a good point. I do that sometimes. Sometimes it's like if you have a shorter reel, then you need to elaborate in the caption and add like the value there. And then I also try to add like keywords in the caption as well. So it helps to have a little more descriptive of the caption so it's more discoverable.
Yeah. Marie, what about you? Are you doing longer captions or shorter ones with a call to action to push them to something else?
I feel like my best performing reels generally have longer captions, and for the same reasons Haley's talking about. I think SEO is kind of an underutilized or underfocused aspect of creating captions or creating content, but I feel like the copy is really where you get people to stay drawn in or discover your content.
Definitely.
Are you guys using ChatGPT or anything for those captions, or are you sitting there and actually, because I've seen them and they are elaborate captions. I can't imagine, and maybe I'm wrong, that you guys are sitting there and writing them all out, or are you?
So I like to write the caption first myself. Like I'll start it off with like my own words, and I feel like you'll notice like the hooks are typically not something ChatGPT would have said. But then throughout, if there's like some value like nuggets in there, it's basically like my captions are usually like kind of a hybrid of both. One thing that I'll do is like start off the caption, and if I get stuck, then I put it into ChatGPT and say, "Can you finish this?" And I'll like pull like good sentences that it said and like humanize them a little bit and add it into the caption, just for like good like information and stuff like that.
I think I start working on it on my own. For the most part, I'm not using ChatGPT unless I'm wanting it to be more concise. I spend the majority of my time trimming down my words, which my captions are already pretty long. So I guess you can just imagine how long they are before I start editing to try and shrink them a little bit. But I want it to be as concise and as simple as possible. So if I'm thinking about something with a really complex thought and I'm like, oh, nobody's going to understand this unless you're in the real estate world, then I'll use ChatGPT to try and, break it down for me on a 3rd grade level. Like, how would you explain this topic? So that way the content's accessible to everybody and it's easy for everyone to understand.
Makes sense.
Dan, what about you with captions? Because I notice a lot of misspelling. Sometimes I read your captions, they look like they were written in like Yiddish or something like that. So clearly you're not reading ChatGPT. How are you doing your captions?
But you just said it. I'm writing it with my left foot. Maybe I should start using ChatGPT, and we'll get to it when we get to what's in and what's out, and I'll explain and elaborate even more. But what I love the most about that, Eric, is that I could literally sit there like I already do, and I could watch my own reel 50,000 times, and I would count as 50,000 views, and I could show that to a seller. Shout out to Shane Bergman. Now the guy's finally going to get some views, huh? Poor guy's been shadow banned for a year. Now his views are going to go up.
Doesn't Justin Bieber, when he releases a new song, doesn't he like tell everyone to like go to sleep with his song playing so it just replays?
So it's just replaying constantly.
So that's what you could do with your reels, is just like go to sleep with it looping.
I already go to sleep with Bieber's album because I'm off my face in love with
No, you go to sleep with
the
Nelk. No, you go to sleep with the Nelk Boys podcast. I've said this before. One time, Dan and I had to share bunks in New Jersey at Tom Toole's beach house. One of the worst nights of my life. And Dan at 3 a.m. leans over the top bunk and is like, "Yo, you mind if we put on the Nelk Boys podcast to fall asleep to?" One of the worst possible things you could ever fall asleep to. I don't know if you know who the Nelk Boys are, but they're like prankster bros from Toronto. Like, imagine falling asleep to that.
Is that a joke? Like, was that like a bit like from the TikToks where it was like, do you mind if I put on something light to fall asleep to? And then they would put on like a crazy song.
Haley, he's never been more serious in his life. When he stuck his head over that bunk bed,
and like, I can't fall asleep without this.
With vape smoke being puffed directly into my face at 3 a.m. I smelled like I was in a candy store. It was probably the worst night of my life. But here's the thing, Dan. There's no way you could actually sit there and watch your reel over and over again to rack up those views. It's got to be other people. So there's no way you could just post a reel and then just keep it on Instagram. But this is good news. So make sure go ahead, Mary.
What if I'm watching it on like a Finsta account, like a fake Instagram account? Do you think that would work?
I don't know. I think it's got to be more organic. I don't think the strategy here is to actually have people open their phones and watch these reels. I think the point is to get people to watch the replays of your reels and to have long captions so that while the reel is going on.
Hey, here's a genius marketing tip. Tell me if this is in the article or not. I have 7 Finstas. So what I do is I go in and I like and I comment and I share and I save and then I reply back to the comment and then I get like 100 comments to myself.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. You know what? It's actually the worst tip you could possibly do. I've been talking. This is very important, everybody. Listen, I've been talking to Luca Actually Agents because he's got some other accounts too. I obviously have 10 other accounts that I'm always commenting on. This hurts your account. So Instagram notices when it's coming from the same IP. Instagram notices when you're trying to engagement boost yourself. It also notices if you have engagement groups. So if Marie were to text or DM Dan, myself, and Haley and say, "Hey, please comment on this post. I just launched it. I need some engagement." It's inorganic. Like people can't click on that link. It has to be shown to them in the algorithm, like the YouTube algorithm. So do not do that. There's a little tip right there. So that is the social media news for the day, everybody. Replays are in. Short reels are in with longer captions to get more replays. The longer the caption, the more you're going to rack up those views. So there you go, Dan. Social media news today. Topic number 1. Check off.
Mm-hmm. Check that one off. Let's go. The new and improved walkthrough. Quick question though. So if you send that link to your post, that ruins the engagement. Like not if you just send it on Instagram, that ruins the engagement.
If you text me your link and I'm coming across your post inorganically, apparently it just notifies Instagram that this is being sent out. So I'm trying not to even include these links in my emails anymore because it's not people discovering the post through the algorithm. It's not being naturally fed to them. It's kind of a conspiracy theory, but it's what?
I said it's silly because I feel like Instagram's what they want is to get more people on the app and to keep them on the app. So no matter how they're getting there, they shouldn't care, you know? Like if I'm sending out my email newsletter and promoting Instagram, then they should be happy, you know?
They should be happy. And what I'm saying might not be true. So take it with a grain of salt.
It's a rumor on the streets.
It's just a rumor. It's a rumor in the social media streets.
It's another excuse for me to blame Instagram on why my content sucks and is not getting any engagement. So that's where
it's because you're commenting on it from what's that golf account you have, like Birdie Wordy or something.
Hole, DJ Eczema, Danny Deals, Daniel Deals. I got a lot. Exactly. O'Neill team.
Yeah.
Anyway. Moving on to topic number 2. So we're going to be doing the best thing that we've seen inside of real estate and the best thing marketing-wise that we've seen outside of real estate. So this could be both branding and marketing. Can I go first?
Yeah, let's go first.
All right.
Haley, if you could pull up Dan's clip. This is the best thing Dan's seen this week. Dan, if you were to intro this, I know you sent this clip to me. It's got, I don't know, 1 million plus views.
Yeah, so I was trying to find this gentleman for weeks now on the show, and basically – my house is about to blow up. I don't know what that noise was. Oh, that was my face mask. I'm sorry. My LED face mask went off.
It started simmering.
So I've been trying to find this gentleman for a few weeks now. And basically what he's doing is it looks like as if he is touring his own house. So it's saying, "Welcome to my own home." And here, we'll get into the video now if you're watching. Haley, you can play it. So you think that this is
cozy afternoon in my $14 million townhouse in the Upper West Side. This idea of having a proper home in the city is still wild to me. What's so cool about townhouses are how uniquely you can design yours and how unexpectedly different they can be from the exterior. Like this right here is actual tree bark, and you'll see plenty more wood throughout, including the exposed ceiling beams. I've also got 2 projectors displaying the same video onto the double height wall so that I don't have to pause what I'm watching if I have to come upstairs real quick. First thing I'll always do when I come home is to come down to hydrate. Psych, not there. But before that, have you guys seen privacy shades in your own home or an automated hood? The last time we had a chef come over, he had asked to put them down so he could surprise us. But I prefer open concept, so putting the shades back up now and we'll get a drink. Not that kind. Pellegrino, you trying to sponsor me? Now, before you say something, this is like my 10th time watching Squid Games, and since the new reality copycat on Netflix came out, I decided to watch the real one again. Honestly, I wonder why they didn't just work with Mr. Beast. You got an idea of the personality of the house, but this right here is the soul. A full floor custom mural painted within my private elevator that changes as the floor changes. Which floor is your favorite? No time to show you the whole house, but here's my floor. It's a bedroom turned into an actual spa. There's nothing better than a massage after a brutal workout, and you know I'm starting my mornings in my sauna. Right across the hall is my actual bathroom, which in itself is pretty spa-like. Then you have my sleeping quarters and a nice...
All right, shut this guy off. We can't watch this entire thing. What is this, 15 minutes long? My God. Okay.
So
what do you like about that video?
The point of it is he's gone super viral for these, and he's having a ton of agents reach out to him to come in there and do this like bit where it says like, welcome to my apartment, welcome to my home. He takes his shoes off. And if you listen to the words that he's saying, he's explaining it as if he were to live there. So he's saying basically, he's saying like, this is, when we have the chef comes over, or I want to grab a drink when I come home. He's putting himself as if he were the owner, and he's having a ton of people reach out to him to do this kind of marketing and advertising for their listing. And he's blowing up. I mean, he's got more followers than probably you at this point in only a couple of weeks. So I think it's genius. It's monotone, great. very, 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 very like nice and quiet, right? Like, welcome to my home.
Only a couple of weeks, huh? This guy just watches Squid Games 10 times, does one voiceover, and he's got more followers than me after 10 years. What an asshole.
Let's get him on the podcast.
Let's get him on. No one has watched Squid Games 10 times. That would be one of the most psychotic things you could possibly do. I don't know if anybody watched it here, but just watching that over and over is ridiculous. But I do like the POV style where it's him going around, turning on the lights, showing the house from the perspective of, someone that lives there and going through like the routine of what he would do, despite those hydration jokes that bombed each time, I thought. But I like the voiceover also. It was a good piece. What did you guys think? Marie, what did you think?
I very much think this resonates with that, I don't know, Instagram, TikTok trend of like being Delulu is the Salulu. Like, I think this guy's being Delulu, showing off, his places, but it's paying off for him. So I think people like to visualize, people like to dream. I think it's great.
What does Delulu mean?
What is Delulu?
Being delusional. Like, you guys, I forget, people don't hear the same sound bites on everything. But yeah, there was a sound bite that went viral maybe about like a month or two ago where people were quoting it. Being Delulu is the Salulu. Like, being delusional is the solution. Like, if you want something, sometimes you just gotta pretend like it's your reality. So anyway, that's very niche. Sorry about that.
That's my life right there. I am Delulu and Lulu for the clue. All right. That was my favorite thing I've seen inside real estate this week. But I never thought I would utter these words. Haley's gonna judge the shit out of me for this. But this is the best thing, marketing and branding, I've seen outside of real estate. Haley, can you tee this one up here? I cannot believe that we were talking about Taylor Swift on this show. But
we don't actually have anything to show for this, but just talk about what you've seen from Taylor Swift.
It's not Taylor Swift. Okay. It is the fullback from the Chiefs. I can't pronounce his last name correctly, but it is his wife is designing clothing for celebrities, for athletes, for all of the above. And she made a jacket for Miss Taylor Swift, who went to the Chiefs game, and it went mega, mega viral. And the fullback was so proud of his wife that on every single ESPN, Sports Center, CNBC, People, whatever it is, he was on underneath there saying, "That's my wife," and tagging her. And overnight, she received, I think, 200,000 followers. She had her business absolutely blew up. Her brand blew up. I saw Taylor Lautner wearing one. So basically, it was influencer marketing. But also, I love the fact that her husband was the one that was commenting and tagging everybody and saying, "Hey, this is my wife and this is her company." So that was my favorite thing I saw outside of real estate marketing and branding wise for this week.
That's awesome. Yeah, the community engagement aspect of it in terms of the fullback commenting on every single post. That's how we racked up a ton of our followers. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing way less of this. I don't know, Haley, if you've been doing this with Coffee and Contracts at all, but just going into accounts, commenting on a bunch of industry related and hoping to get followers from it. Are you doing that anymore, or is your brand too big now where it doesn't matter?
Yeah, my brain's always been big, but I
Not
just kind of do
brand.
it. Oh, brand.
Same. Your brain's so big that you don't do that anymore.
I was like, I've always been a genius, Eric, but right. Thanks for asking. No, well, this actually made me think of something similar that I think is also like kind of interesting. That this girl I know from my hometown, she designed this like onesie outfit for one of the girlfriends of a football player, and it like went viral. And but she's like just a very small business owner, and she like capitalized on it, created a whole website to like sell these things. It was like just like blowing up her account by like doing remixes on reels of people like talking about this outfit. And I feel like what we can take from that is like capitalizing on something that's like, if one of your posts is like going viral or something, like continue talking about it and like repurposing it. So I don't know. I just wanted to add that to the NFL conversation.
Yeah, my friend Caravan Sam, who I used to do real estate skits with back in 2019, just went viral for supposedly almost drowning in the Pacific Ocean in Puerto Rico. And I don't know if I believe the story or not, but anyway, he started the TikTok by saying, "You guys, I just almost died in the ocean." And then it's like him telling the story, and the story's horrible. It's like, the current was taking it. There wasn't like anything interesting about it. No offense. He racked up 1.5 million views. But what he's been doing is he's been responding to every comment with extra videos. So there's a ton of people saying like, "There's no way you almost drowned," or "You're dry when you're filming this video. Like this didn't even happen." And then he's responding with the video to each person. So if you have a viral video, that's a great technique to do, is to keep the virality going by responding to comments, which you can do now in Instagram. So if Coffee and Contracts were to community engage with the big brain of Haley commenting on a broke agent post and she says, "Haha, not funny," I could respond to that comment with a video saying, no,
yeah,
it is
and
funny.
It's probably even better to do that with like controversial or like comments from like haters, because then people click on that comment to see the tea and see what happened on that like original post. Like, why is this person hating,
Yeah. Exactly. All right, let's get into Marie Lee's favorite thing that she saw this week. This is a great post, a little swiper.
Oh,
Haley,
yeah.
let's pull this one up.
Championship.
What's that?
I was trying to make a joke and it just went over everybody's head and it wasn't funny.
Sorry. All right. Morgan Winiger, she is over in the Charleston, South Carolina area. She's been killing it with lifestyle, like influencer content. She is a real estate agent, and she dramatically increased her deals this past year. And a lot of the content that she's posting about is what's going on in different areas. This particular post, she goes ahead and adds a text-based image where she's highlighting all of the different coffee shops that have Wi-Fi in Charleston. I don't know. I just recently went to a coffee shop in Nashville that did not have Wi-Fi. I thought I was going to be able to get work done there. Turns out that is a thing. Some people like to go to unplugged coffee shops. So I felt like this was so simple, but you can already tell that she's gotten plenty of likes from it. She's gone ahead and tagged all of the different coffee shops. They have shared it. I know she's got a lot of saves and comments on it. I saved it myself. Was just thinking, wow, this is really easy to make, but also people find it very resourceful. Like this is going to be something that people are going back into their archives to look at if they need some different coffee shop ideas. So super simple, but we love it.
Wow.
Brilliant idea.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, I that looks like it took a ton of time. I like how it started with the picture of her first and then swipes to the coffee shop. So for the people just listening on audio, just a picture. What was her name, Marie?
Morgan Winiger.
Morgan Winiger. Just picture of her with a, iced coffee, swipes, and then you see, it looked like 10, 20 coffee shops that she tagged right there, which is also smart because then maybe those coffee shops will share that video, that post.
Yeah.
So really good idea by Morgan Winiger. Here's mine. This thing is one of the best hooks I've seen for an Instagram listing video in a very long time by Katie Kenny, who has been crushing it with BAM collabs and green screens. So this is her in the snow, and this is one of the best hooks I've ever seen.
When I die, spread my ashes in Hawthorne Woods, Illinois. This picturesque suburb, 45 minutes from Chicago, is known for its greenery, not allowing fences, and the unique homes sprinkled on the massive lots. 7 Fox Hunt Trail happens to be one of those homes. This waterfront oasis features a 4-car garage, exercise room, and in the basement, you'll find the temperature-controlled wine cellar ready for your 1,800 bottles of wine. On top of the garage, there's a bonus room that's currently acting as a home office. This section of the house could easily be used as an in-law suite, or you can block it off and rent it out because house hacking. Could you ever see yourself living in Hawthorne Woods? Let me know in the comments.
What a perfectly constructed reel. When I die, spread my ashes in Hawthorne, Illinois. That's such a good hook for a video. It's the classic voiceover style with the text popping up, long captions, so she's going to get the video replays. Just beautiful execution by Katie. Haley, what about yours?
Textbook. It's textbook.
Yeah,
right
textbook work by Katie. Haley, what do you have for us this week?
So what I saw that I loved was an agent named Autumn, or her Instagram is Autumn the Realtor. It went really viral, but I thought it was hilarious. She posted a reel. Yeah, so she's showing like
100,000. Wow, holy crap.
Oh my
God.
Yeah,
it's like viral for people that aren't even like in real estate.
It looks like Eric taking a selfie in the mirror.
It's gorgeous houses I toured and why I didn't buy them. But then it's literally like multi-million-dollar houses, and she's like nitpicking something that's like not really a negative, and then it's saying, I didn't buy it because it was $8 million. Like it's like obviously it's like, so yeah. Also it was $8 million and I couldn't afford it. So it was really funny. And then at the end she puts something like not every house is going to be perfect. Like showing like even these like multi-million-dollar houses have flaws, which I thought was like a nice touch as a real estate agent. But it went really viral because it was just like hilarious. And I think it definitely went like outside of real estate. So is this the best to like get new clients? Maybe not, but it definitely like expanded her reach with agents. I feel like that probably got her a ton of agent followers, which will bring referrals, which is great. And it also shows potential clients that she's really good at marketing. She's clever. She's creative. So even if it's not like directly getting leads, it's like good for her look,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Haley, can we play it? Wow. That is also textbook right there. I mean, just good song, good vibes, showing off. And listen, even though she's being satirical, like it's still her name, still getting all those likes and shares. She's still gonna get business from it. That is also textbook.
I think it's cute how she at the end it's like her pouring in her mug that says "best realtor ever." She's like, "I'm a realtor."
I would have watched that again. It's a good callback there. I would have watched that a second time. I would have probably watched that 5 times to be quite honest.
It gave me a good giggle, And also someone sent it to me. It's a very sendable reel. Like people will share that to their stories and be like, ha ha ha, this is funny. They'll send it to their friends,
Hopefully they don't send it in a group chat or an engagement group.
Yeah.
Could be bad. All right. I got one more marketing tactic here, Dan. And that is, if you're an agent looking to stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a resource you need to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines. So Reminder Media delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you need to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Head to Reminder Media. The link is down in the description. So they're sending out personal magazines to clients. This is a great way to stay top of mind, as you actually have, one of those magazines sitting in your client's coffee shop. Dan, you could have your face on one of these printed magazines sitting in someone's coffee shop. Wouldn't that be a great thing to wake up to? Just Dan's face on that'd be fantastic. So check out Reminder Media, link down in the description for that.
Link in the description. Also, thank you, Marie, for reminding me that my Chase Sapphire is still at Aldean's over in Nashville. I want to put that there. I've had crippling anxiety since you mentioned the coffee shop. I'm just going to put it out there. Yes. We have 2 more topics here, and these are going to be quick ones that we're going to be doing every single week. We're going to be doing what is in and what is out, and we're going to do it kind of in a rapid fire way. And then we're going to wrap up the show each and every single week with a 60-second tip from everybody that is on the panel. So first, what's in and what's out? Eric, what's in and what's out this week for you, my friend?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's working. I got this from Haley Ingram from Coffee and Contracts, the Coffee Drip newsletter, one of the best newsletters in the history of real estate. Great marketing newsletter. Everybody should also sign up for Coffee and Contracts, best marketing templates in the game. There's a description for that in the descriptions. This is fantastic. And the link in the descriptions. This is fantastic. So Haley does her emails and she has an intro of what she's going to talk about in the emails. And with our BAM emails, which we send out every single day, we include the links to all of our podcasts and blogs. But what I've changed this week is putting a little intro on what you're going to get throughout the entire email. So I'm going to say you're going to get some Instagram tips. You're going to get the hot sheet replay. You're going to get the Massive Agent podcast. You're going to get the walkthrough podcast, and detailing exactly what you're going to get in each one. Just a little paragraph text-based intro. And then I tell people, make sure you read all the way down and RSVP to some of our events like the BAM Pro Bowl or our Lead Gen Challenge. It's improved our click rate exponentially. And it really helps with people who, they don't want to just scroll through an entire email to get the value. It's giving them the value right up front, and then they know to where to go in that email. So thank you, Haley, for that. That's just, me copying you. So that is fantastic. What's not working is we have all these landing pages for our events. So we have the BAM Pro Bowl event on February 7th, the free event, Ryan Serhant, Marie Lee speaking at it, talking about Instagram strategy and converting your profile. February 7th. It's going to be the best, virtual event in real estate. But we have all these lead pages, these landing pages with so much text explaining the actual event that our conversion rate on these pages is like 50%. And you think it'd be way higher, but it's because we just have so much text explaining it. Now, when I switch the text out and I just do put your email in, attend the virtual event of the year or attend our 5-day lead gen challenge, we get so many more conversions because you've already got them to click on that page. You don't need to sell again. So if you're doing a buyer's guide or a seller's guide or top 10 foodies guide of Toronto or something like that, you don't need to give a huge explanation as to what they're going to get. Just let them put in the email and then send it to them. So that's what's not working for us, is these huge text-based posts. There we go.
I think it goes back to not overcomplicating it, right? I mean, real estate agents, calling myself this, right? Where not many of us have Harvard degrees. So if you overcomplicate it, or if you give people too many places to go and click on, you're not going to get the same results. Haley Ingram, what's in and what's out for you now that Eric's still yours?
Yeah. So I've been seeing the most engagement, and our best performing posts are the ones where I have mini chat linked up and people are commenting. It just helps it continue to get boosted. Another thing though that I've been noticing is when I'm doing reels or TikToks, if you put the title or basically the point of what you're saying on top, and then explain the concept in the video, I feel like that's been getting good results because people are interested to hear you explain that thought, if that makes sense. I was just kind of looking at TikToks and videos, and I was noticing that the best performing ones all did that. They all had the title or the too long, not going to watch kind of thing. So that's what I think is in. What's out is one thing. I posted a TikTok actually, and I posted it on the fly. It was, I don't know, I thought it was good. And then I went back to it. It didn't do well. I went back to it and I was shocked to see that I had this crazy millennial pause at the beginning. You know what I'm talking about when I say that? The millennial pause is whenever someone starts a video and it's the first few seconds is just silence. Millennials do that, versus Gen Zs will start it and be right away. But then millennials are setting up their camera and are you hear some fidgeting and they're all right, so, and I did that and I was oh, the rookie mistake, Haley, Jesus. It was just an awkward, me setting up the camera. But yeah, so that's what's out is millennial pauses. You got to get their attention right away.
I mean, I have a question. What is, you know what, never, I'll save it. Millennials versus Gen Z. I don't even know which one I am.
I think I'm right on the cusp, and I'm 95 and I'm millennial.
Okay, so me too. I'm 94. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Damn. We're the last ones.
Marie, what's in, what's out for you for this week?
I think what's in is I don't know how to put this. emotional style reels, but I don't mean like I'm crying. I mean like I'm trying to draw or evoke emotion. I have been doing this with like imagine this or picture this, where I'm trying to get somebody to visualize something. And those kinds of reels are doing really well. I had one recently where I was showing what a starter home could do, where you're developing your appreciation and how that is what gets you into your dream home. I just took 2 really simple B-roll clips and added text there and explained what appreciation and equity was in the caption, one of those long captions. Super simple, probably took me 15 minutes to make total. And I think we're sitting around almost 700,000 views right now. And it's getting a lot of hate. It's getting a lot of hate, people saying like, I can't afford a starter home. And I'm trying to explain to them in the comments, like, no, actually, like, this is how this works. Like, you get the home, you develop the appreciation, you do pay more for your dream home, but the more money you're putting down, the less money you're paying per month. So trying to break down concepts there, engaging with the comments. So emotional content, I think, is in. Then I'm thinking content that is out. I'm doing a little split test right now, a little A/B post where I took the exact same content that was on a reel and I repurposed it into a post. Not even 30 minutes later, I am using the same exact cover photo. I'm using the same exact caption. And right now, the post is actually performing way better than the reel. The reach is farther. The engagement is a lot higher. People are saving at a higher rate and sharing it at a higher rate than the reel. I think we've been fed this idea that reels are the way to grow on Instagram. I think that that's true. I think a lot of people have tossed posts out of the window, but it's been very interesting to see how this one particular post is doing, and I'm going to keep it up for a little while, see if we can get some good data maybe over the next 2 weeks.
I love the A/B test. First of all, that takes guts to post the same piece of content 30 minutes after that piece of content. But that's what you got to do, is actually, people do that with their thumbnails and their email titles and everything all the time. So doing it on Instagram does make sense. This is something we've been talking about nonstop in BAMX and, in the Coffee and Contracts group and everything, is that turning your reels into carousel posts, just like Marie did, where you take a screenshot of your reel and then you use that as the cover photo, or you take, a photo of yourself with some text that pops up that is kind of like the thumbnail or the hook that swipes to the actual video. Those are converting like crazy. So great job, Marie.
I learned it from the best. I think I learned it from this guy named Eric. Yeah.
Oh my God. That guy sounds like a genius.
Yeah. Big brain.
Yeah, big brain. Exactly. Dan, what about you? What's in, what's out for you?
I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but I've been trying to make myself cry over here for views because sentimental stuff is in right now. Need a second. This could be a good clip. No, I'm kidding. I'm not crying. But what is in and what is out, I agree with all of you guys. And I do think the emotional stuff is super in. For myself, what is in right now is Instagram stories. You start your day with a create mode. You go down to a little face, show your face a little bit on Instagram because they love that. And then bam, whatever you plug in, you put it at the end. It's going back to basics and it's dumbing it down because right now I feel like there's so much out there that is super overwhelming. And it's just putting me in like a paralysis state. And what is not working, Eric, is not posting because I am so overwhelmed and because I have this analysis paralysis. I'm not posting. That's out. It ain't working. So what's in, stories, getting engagement, but what's out is just making excuses and not posting content, truthfully.
Yeah, not posting is not a good Instagram strategy.
Not at all.
Not a great way to grow. But
no.
Yeah, you're crushing it with the stories. The thing is, you're still staying top of mind, right? Right, Haley? He's still setting up those digital real estate signs in people's heads with the Instagram stories.
I mean, can I get any credit? I just made myself cry on demand in 2 minutes. Yeah, that was pretty fucking.
That was incredible. You're a regular Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. All right. To round out the show here, we're gonna do a 60-second tip here from everybody, rapid fire to end the show here. Start off with you, Eric, aka Joel Goldberg, aka the 3 Blind Mice. 60 seconds on the timer. What is your tip for the week?
Instagram story tip. Delete your story from the previous day. Before you launch your story the next day, either let it expire or delete it. I've been doing this a lot because I've been plugging a lot of links, doing a lot of mini chats, trying to get people to sign up for all this crap. But then if you start your story fresh the next day, delete it, right before you go to bed or right when you wake up. Wait a couple hours, then post. The engagement kicks right back up because Instagram is serving that as a fresh story that is not accounting into the algorithmic disaster that your story was from 24 hours ago. So delete the previous story.
This guy's risen right now. Risen. Huh? Lulu into Lulu with the risen. That's really good. I didn't know that. Damn. Haley, what about you? What's your 60-second tip here?
All right. My tip is don't delete your story. No, I'm just kidding.
Hot take.
I'm just kidding. My tip is about subconscious hooks. So doing things like, instead of just like talking to, this is talking about like stories and reels, by the way. But primarily stories, like instead of just recording a video of you talking, like you're FaceTiming someone, put the camera on hands-free mode and record yourself doing something, like, and then talking while you're doing that thing. So like, it could be like pouring your cup of coffee, making like your little breakfast, or like getting ready for the day, like doing your hair or whatever. Then people are more engaged and they're more likely to stay and watch the whole thing, watch you finish that process.
I like that.
Thank you.
I see that on TikTok all the time. It's like girls doing their makeup and then they're like giving advice, and I don't know why I'm watching it.
Yeah, they call that like the subconscious hook, is when they're like putting on the lip gloss. You're like, whoa. Or just,
it's great.
That's like you were talking about with like Ryan with the colorful hair. It's like that, it hooks you in.
Exactly. The food ones too. There's a guy on TikTok that tells stories while just making dinner. And it's not like something elaborate. Like sometimes he'll literally put, butter and Parmesan on pasta, but you're just kind of watching him do it and you want to see the end product. Meanwhile, he's telling you some story. Brilliant.
I would pay so much money to see your TikTok algorithm. You got Caravan Sam drowning in the Mediterranean Sea, and then you're just watching this guy make pasta with butter noodles. What the hell?
Look, TikTok knows what you want.
Butter noodles. Yeah,
that's what I want.
Marie, for your 60-second tip here, what do you got?
Shannon McKinstry posted this prompt, and it's been doing really, really well for a lot of people. I posted it, and it's brought me in quite a few leads. The prompt for the reel is, you're a blank, and then it goes into experiencing blank, and you find my account. So you're a, and then in the blank, you're putting your ideal client, like who you're trying to resonate with. Experiencing blank, you're talking about what some of their fears or emotions are, what are they dealing with, and you find my account. So you're using some great B-roll footage to capture their attention, a little subconscious hook. You're identifying your ideal client, and then you're giving them a reason to follow your account. A lot of people have been blowing up with this. It's really impactful if you have a guide or some sort of freebie that's attached to this. So she's also gone on to encourage people to use a ManyChat prompt to direct people to landing pages. So just a little tangible and tactile 60-second suggestion.
Tangible and tactile. I like that. Speaking of tactile, this was the most tactical podcast that we have done. I mean, this is brilliant stuff coming here. Marie, I got to say this. I actually had you as marketer of the week, which we used to do until we completely flipped the show and decided to change the show last night, because I saw a reel of yours, Marie, at Move Me to Tennessee, that I loved. You were playing some, kind of mid-2000s song. And I think your caption was, if you're listening to this song, it means you're probably ready to buy a home right now. What was the text that you used?
Yeah, it said, if you're a 30-something who jammed out to this song in high school, congratulations, you've entered into the prime home buying years.
And what was the song?
That little Gym Class Heroes Cupid's Chokehold song, little spin-off of Supertramp. So yeah, just hitting on the nostalgia there.
And it works because it was like targeted right at me, because I remember I probably had that as my ringtone. I liked Gym Class Heroes. They had like two good songs.
And it's time for you to buy a home now, Eric. So
yes,
it
is.
It's right to the heart.
3 years, Eric.
That's right. Yes, it's taking a little bit longer than usual. Why don't you go watch The Hot Sheet or The Knowledge Brokers as to why that's happening? It's because I'm sitting here talking about marketing tips every day. You think this makes money?
It's making other people money, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's something you could do. If you want to support the show, if you want to support BAM, you got to join BAMX. BAMX is a community with all the courses and trainings and live streams that you need to stay up on your social media game. Become a content machine with BAMX. There's a link down in the description. Use code WALKTHROUGH for 10% off. And also, damn, I got to say this. We got a lot of good things coming up with BAM. We got the BAM Pro Bowl, February 7th. Ryan Serhant, keynote speaker. Marie Lee from Tennessee. We got Actually Agents emceeing. Byron Lazine. David Childers giving us the playbook. The 2024 marketing playbook. He's going to tell me why I can buy a house because it's looking better for buyers this year. That is a completely free event. February 7th, we're going to have a national anthem. Do you guys know Amanda Bradford or who she is?
I met her at the BAM Bash.
She's great. So she's doing the national anthem. We're going to have a halftime show. We're going to have funny commercials. Haley, actually, Maria is going to be dressing up as the
mascot.
as the mascot for the halftime show. Haley, what are you doing for the halftime show? You're doing some sort of performance, right?
I can't. No.
Eric,
I can't think of anything funny to say right now to that.
But Haley, what would you do if you had 5 minutes and you had to keep a live captivated audience of 10,000 real estate agents virtual? What would you do?
I would do a moment of silence.
Oh, that's nice. For a specific cause, or you would just sit there completely silent?
Let's all just meditate and get prepared to get the knowledge,
I like that. I think people would watch that because they'd be so freaked out. Yeah. What would you do?
Make everybody, I would get a giant QR code and make everybody take out their phones and follow me on Instagram. That's what I would go like my most recent post.
Yeah. That's what we are doing for. Yeah, go ahead.
I would just put Lilo on the screen.
That's smart. Yeah, just have the dog. Yeah. You know what I might do actually is because we do need some sort of entertainment. I might play the recorder actually.
Oh.
I was the best recorder player in the history of Castle Hill Elementary School, Castle Hill Country Day School. We think that we're the best.
I don't believe that for a second.
Oh, really? I was the fastest to the teacher's ribbon and the tenor recorder in the history of Castle Hill. The first person to ever get the tenor. You would go soprano, alto, tenor recorder, which was like 10 feet long. It was like I was playing a bass guitar basically because I was only 3 feet tall. But I would perform at Castle Hill and I could still play it phenomenal. I could play the Harry Potter theme, Lord of the Rings, this Irish tune called Lark of the Moon.
If I were to make an inappropriate joke, I won't make an inappropriate joke, but I will just say this. If I had to peg you playing any kind of instrument, I would definitely have you playing a reed instrument. That's what I'm going to say.
A reed instrument?
Yeah.
You mean
like,
a woodwind, yeah.
A wind.
Yeah, like I was a trumpet player. I played the drums. Like that's what we did. I could peg you for a flute. Or
if you play the drums, that's people were in percussion because they couldn't play anything else. That's what happened in band. It's just like I'm gonna go play the tambourines or the drums because you had no musical taste, Dan.
All right, I'm getting an idea. We got a woodwind player. We got percussion. I'll pull out my old trombone, and maybe we can get a little, trio going.
I like that.
We can. Okay. We are the halftime show. Put that on.
It's like SpongeBob.
I could do the harmonica.
Okay, there we go. That's perfect.
We have the whole entire SpongeBob Super Bowl thing, right? Like, what's that song? Yeah, let's do it. We got a marching band right here.
That's a banger.
Yeah. That is a banger.
Perfect. All right. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please let us know with a like and a sub. Let us know in the comments. Do you like this new format for the show? Is this the new marketing show of real estate? Give Marie Lee a follow at Move Me to Tennessee. Give Coffee and Contracts at Coffee and Contracts a follow at Haley Ingram. Danny Deals, of course. Everybody always follows him. See you guys next week on the new and improved walkthrough. SpongeBob music.